All right, this video is not for people that just want to be entertained. This video is mainly for people that are ambitious but are a bit lazy. I was recently having a conversation with my sister, and we're talking about what's going on with this generation and how do we change our lives in the fastest and most impactful way so that we're able to experience life really nicely. Uh, and based on 5 years of research for myself, because this is things that I'm applying for myself, that's all. We're having a conversation. I'm telling you what I've been applying. And what I want to tell you is that basically there's a few things that are the most important thing, and this is everything. Okay? And everything that I'm about to tell you, it relates to emotions. Okay? Doesn't matter what this world or what you experience here or what you get is because of emotions. And at the end of the day, when you leave this world, you're gonna be left with emotions and the emotions that you experienced. All right, because eventually, uh, you're gonna have different experiences in this life, and some experiences are gonna be nice, and some experiences are gonna be bad. But at the end of the day, you are the one that tells and decides the meaning of those experiences. And because of that meaning, now you experience an emotion. So basically, if you were a master of your own emotions, you could have the best life. Doesn't matter if you have nothing. And that's what I want to talk to you about right now. Because it's not that just having an emotion will make you happy. If you decide to be happy all the time, then uh, that means you have a great life. We have to define what is a great life. I also believe that getting results, right? All of us want to get money, or we want to get whatever else you want to get. But I know that almost every single person right now and listening to this video, if anybody is money. All right. But I truly believe, like I listened to Tony Robbins, he says 80% of everything is the mindset and the 20% is the how to. And most of us already know how money works, right? You have a product or service and you sell to other person. Literally, that's it. That's how you make money. Then go ahead. The reason most of us are not making money is because of our mindset and because the emotions that we're having as well. So that's the other part of the emotions, because if you have the right emotions, you're going to be able to not just be motivated, but be disciplined to continue and to continue. And let me just tell you one more thing about emotions before we move on to the real things. Uh, Emotions do emit frequencies. When you have an emotion, scientifically, it is proven right now, you can't disagree with this, that you are emitting frequencies. And based on a physical law of physics, if you every single frequency attracts the other frequency, the same frequency. So if I'm sad, then I'm literally attracting more sad moments, in a sense. And I truly believe that because it makes sense. Have you ever had a bad moment in the beginning of your day and all of a sudden the whole day is bad? Maybe it's part of that reason that you're attracting things. So it's not that it also motivates you having the right emotions, but also you're attracting the things that you don't want in your life because you don't know and you can't control your own emotions. The question is, how can I control my own emotions? Now we're talking. Because if you're able to do this, you're able to do everything else. So I already told you the first thing. The first thing is, uh, well, why two people can have one person can have a great time in the snow and another person can be freezing. One person hates the snow and the other person loves the snow. Doesn't matter who of those people likes or doesn't like the snow. The thing is that both people in the same situation, they assign different meanings. And because of those meanings, now you created that emotion. So one of the first things that you could do right now, if you want, is basically this is what I did. Every single thing that happens in this world to me it's equal to abundance. Doesn't matter what it is. I decide every single thing is interpretations. So I can be like literally a lunatic, and at least it's gonna motivate me to act better in this life, right? To be able to be more disciplined on my business, and to sell more, because the number one way to sell more things is to also have conviction. What is conviction? Conviction, that's an emotion, that's a state of being that makes you a lot more confident to say, hey, you should buy this instead of the other things, or you should get this car now. And people are like, yes, you're transmitting things. So that's important. Now, the other things that are also important, and basically the most important thing, is your beliefs that are ingrained in your mind. This is how you change your life for sure on the long term. Because most of us, when we're from 0 to 7 years old, we learn. We don't judge, we don't care, we just learn. And that's our problem. Because since we're learning everything that's happening right now, then every single thing that your parents said, maybe it was a split moment, or maybe it was a teacher that they said something when you were 6 years old, that money doesn't grow on trees. Then they said stuff like that, right? That not everybody can be successful, whatever. And you believed it. And since you believe that thing, then all your life, without even thinking about it, that's why we have beliefs ingrained in our brains, because we believe them and we don't have to think about them. So that's less energy. Okay, not you don't have to think about so many things at the same time. So that's why you have beliefs. So we need to understand all of our limiting beliefs. They're called limiting beliefs. If you understand that, and in order to do so, I'm just gonna tell you the number one thing: to just be clear on your beliefs, on the meanings that you associate with things, on all of these things that I'm teaching you right now. And it's your level of consciousness, right? At the end of the day, understanding who you are, what you believe, what is happening, your environment, all that stuff, you need to have higher levels of consciousness. That's the number one thing. If you can leave this video from something, one thing would be increase your levels of consciousness. Because some people, let me tell you more or less, what are the levels. Level 0, life happens to you, like, oh my god, and you're complaining, by the way, this is happening to me, this is horrible, I don't know, this it just happens, and I'm this, I'm a loser, and that's for sure. So you need to understand that's a level of consciousness that's 0, and most of us are living this way. And sometimes me understanding this subject that I'm just teaching you right now, it happens to me as well. All right, so it's not that once you learn it, it's magically that you don't fall into this trap. Sometimes I do complain. I know that I'm not supposed to complain, and it's a belief that I have, a limiting belief sometimes, that I'm little by little, because I'm conscious, because I'm getting better at it, then I'm deleting that. So level 0, life happens to you. Level 1, well, I made a crazy mistake. You have no idea. I crashed into this car by just doing 3 things at the same time. Well, definitely, I will never do that again. That's the first level of belief. First level, now you understand, of consciousness, sorry. Now you understand, you're being conscious, you're being introspective. Okay, more conscious, that's what I mean. That because you made this terrible mistake, you will never do this. And there's some people that even though they make this terrible mistake, that's why there's level 0, or maybe you may slip sometimes, they also they continue making this terrible mistake. Now, what's level 2? Level 2 would be, you know, little mistakes that you're doing. Okay, there's this thing that I did. There's this thing that I did. It's good. I'm gonna get better at this. I'm learning a little bit, and I believe that many people are here. Okay, you're understanding some mistakes, but more in a superficial way. They're little, and that's how it is. Now, level 3, which is even more. If you, you're probably going to be a very intelligent person if you are in level 3, and level 3 is you learn from other people's mistakes. And the more people you learn from, the better you are at this level, right? So your parents make this mistake that they shouldn't have taught you this way. They shouldn't have taught you in a way that when you're a kid, you have to eat because they said so. What does that mean? Because they said so, right? They didn't explain to you. So now you understand that when you have kids or when you do this, you're not going to be this way. Now, there's a catch here. Some people believe that they're in this level, but not really. Okay? They believe this because maybe there's one experience or a couple of extreme experiences that they have in their family, and then they realize that make them realize, I will never be this way. Because of this reason, because of my parents just hit me, I will never hit my kids. But that's not level 3. Okay, that might be little things, superficial ones between level 1 and 2. But level 3 is really understanding what in their beliefs, maybe your parents' beliefs and maybe your friends' beliefs, and taking it to your mind and saying, I'm not going to do this, or I am going to do this. Not every single learning experience is going to be because this bad thing happened, then I'm going to do this differently. No, maybe consciously you're going to learn what you should be doing. Okay, level 3 now is part of that process of not just learning from mistakes, but learning what you should be actually doing right now. And the little ones. Now, if I can think of level 4 would be one of the last levels. I believe that there's way more levels, but now we're going to be way more advanced at this. And level 4 is just really understanding how life works. Level 5, patterns and understanding patterns. So every time you begin a new process, you know how patterns work, and then you're able to move forward. Level 6 would be, who knows what, right? Like even subconsciously, you already know, hey, you should be acting this way, you should be acting this other way, whatever. But I want you to do one thing right now. Understand more or less and be really truthful to yourself if you're listening to this video, and tell me what level are you. Maybe comment below or do whatever you want, but do understand what level are you and how, and ask yourself, being an intelligent person, because I'm understanding this video, how do I get better? How do I be more conscious? And let me just give you a parenthesis, okay? This does not mean that you need to be like somebody that is very introspective in a way that is bad for you. It's like you don't have to be shy about this, because some let me just explain to you better. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to go ahead and be more conscious on the way that you speak. If you're speaking this way, if you're making people like you, if you make conscious in a superficial way, that it just makes you lower confidence. If that makes sense, you're not being more conscious to make other people happy. You're making yourself more conscious so that you're able to, one, be more control, understand how everything works. Number 2, actually this should be number 1, but number 2 is having an amazing life and an amazing experience, and be able to decide that, because you can for sure uh, have better experiences just by making these simple decisions, right? Having better beliefs and having associating every single experience to the emotion that you want. It doesn't matter. I just decided that whatever happens right now, I'm abundant. Why? Whatever. Don't have to know the why. I just need to have uh, a reason, and the reason is because I decided. This happened. Therefore, an abundant person, and I'm gonna act as an abundant person does. And sometimes it's not that I have to spend a lot of money. For example, sometimes it's that uh, I can make even more, and I'm more confident to make more. And I can with the little things that I have, I can create a much better experience. And eventually, like I told you in the beginning, you do get more motivated and you do attract in a way, because the physics, it's called the law of resonance, does exist. So the better emotions you have, and maybe a little bit better than you were before. I'm not asking to go from depressed to be super excited, but I'm asking you to, instead of being depressed, be angry about it. That's a better emotion. Or if you're angry about it, just be understanding things, understandful, whatever. So that's it. And everybody can go to being understanding of things just by being more conscious. That's why I can't tell you this enough. The whole thing is of your life getting better and your future getting amazing results. It's just being more conscious, because the more conscious you are, I already told you, better emotions, more motivated, you're going to attract more things. So now, different things that you could do to be more conscious. Let's just talk about that. Let me just tell you one thing. 20% is the how to, 80% is the mindset and the why, and why I should be more conscious. That's why I spend all this time just telling you why is this very important? Why being conscious is important? And after that, after understanding why are you going to dedicate the rest of your life being more conscious, because you're more in control and more content, not happy, but which contentful is even better, like fulfilled. That's part of being content. So that's it. Okay. What I wanted to tell you is the rest, the 20%, because you're an intelligent person, are gonna come. Automatically. You just have to know the why, and the why is, hey, I need to be more conscious because I'm more control. I believe that I can have a better life, and I can have a better life right now. This is everything in life, if you can really think about it. If you can think about anything else, it's just little things, the 20%. So finally, little things, if you can't think of anything on how to be more conscious, well, let me tell you one more thing. Just one you can do right now. Turn off your phone, do nothing, be bored. And after 20, 30 minutes of being bored without doing anything, just watching the wall, I'm going to tell you, this has happened to me when I was in college, when it was COVID. All of a sudden, I turned my phone off 30 minutes because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't like being on the phone. I just felt something. That's people believe this, but I also do believe this. It's part of my belief system that makes me more happy. It's that my higher consciousness, knows better, and that's why it told me you should not be on the phone right now. And many times, that's why my friends know me for not answering phones. I've been just bored, and when you're bored, that's when you're more creative. That's when you're understanding yourself even more. Okay, I wasn't like, oh, what did I do wrong? What did I do right about this situation? That's the superficial part, which is a little bit good if you're in sales. What can I do better? All that stuff. But more consciously, like, who am I? Ask yourself that. Who am I? You're going to be bored out of your mind. And when you're that bored, before the internet existed, many people had this ability. Nowadays, not so many people. That's why if you're confused on how to be more conscious, then, well, the internet has affected you in a way. All you got to do is turn off, start thinking, start asking yourself the word why. Why am I this way? In a curious way. Be a curious person. Why? What is going on? Okay, this is interesting. Why did this happen to me? Thank God that this happened to me, because now I can be more conscious and now I can have more control of my life. All right. So literally that's all you need to know. All you need to know is be more conscious, number one. Then change your beliefs, then change the meaning you associate to situations, and just ask yourself, why? That's it for this video. I hope it helps, and I'll see you in another video or in person.